Yo, what is going on, guys? Godrekton here today, bringing you another VOD review. In this game, we are playing against one of the most infuriating matchups, I would say. And that, of course, is our good old friend, Tryndamere. So, I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit. After this recent patch, 12.6, I think we're on now, I actually think the Tryndamere matchup is a lot easier. And I don't know if it's because it's my approach to the matchup or what, but I am winning it more consistently. Although this game is kind of a showcase of what happens like when you play super good versus Tryndamere, then you decide to make one mistake. And of course, as we know from the Jace game, it can only take one mistake to get someone back in the game. And I think we're both going to learn a lot from this game, because what ends up happening is pretty, like, extraordinary, and you guys are going to just, you know, it's kind of just a learning lesson to this matchup. But anyways, let's get into the VOD. So, first of all, I start longsword free. You might ask, why do you go such an aggressive start despite playing against a matchup that is clearly the aggressor and has a better early game? In my opinion, I think having longsword free is just super good, because it gives you more power in the lane to trade against an enemy. So if I go for a trade on Tryndamere and, like, I burst his health down, I then have, you know, 3 potions to use, which are going to provide me 450 health for the lane, allow me to sustain back up, get to level 2 or level 3, and then go for my all-in, while Tryndamere only has 1 pot, D-shield, and that's all he's working with, really. Like, no second wind or bone plating. So it's very abusable. He could, like, amplify his laning a lot better with, like, a second wind to benefit the Doran shield, or even just go bone plating to nullify my own damage. But yeah, he doesn't opt for that, so this start just becomes even better for me. I have the upper hand, and if I do kill him early, I can rush to my Dirk, which is basically my core item for this lane, because once you get that Dirk, that gives you so much combat power against someone like a Tryndamere, to where they can't really play against you. And I personally prefer playing full AD in this matchup, because having that burst damage allows me to get his ult out, and then I can just double dash away. And most of the time I probably get out, well, I most likely do get out unscathed, and I burn out his ult, and then my team can finish the kill, or I can, depending on how the situation plays out. But yeah, that's kind of like my whole idea for this matchup. I like going full AD because it's a lot more comfortable, and I have a lot more ways to deal with the Tryndamere, opposing to Bruiser, where I give up a lot of damage to sacrifice for being more of a meat shield. But against a Tryndamere, he kind of just runs you down the side lane, and you need to have some power yourself to fend him off from taking all your towers. So yeah. Anyways, level 1, he goes toward this, and as a player, I will always run to this bush level 1. Now, sometimes it is not beneficial to do that, in case an enemy comp warrants a top invade, which can happen. So I always have to be on my toes here. Like, I don't skill anything, because if there is an invade with Veigar, and, like, if they had, like, Galio here too, he could flash here, and if I have W, I'm most likely screwed. Or even Q as well. I'm screwed. So I don't skill anything up till I see someone come. Now, I see Tryndamere's coming, and I skill W, because he places the ward down too, so I'll auto and W. This gives me a minion worth of XP. So on the first wave, I'm going to hit level 2, which gives me a lot of power for the matchup as well. So in these circumstances, if someone ever drops a ward, take W, because being able to get level 2 off the first wave is huge. And having a W start into E, level 2, is... you basically kill a lot of people with that if you play your cards right. Right now, we get the ward. Tryndamere now has no ward at all, meaning he can get ganked as well. So he kind of just shot himself in the foot with that. But Zac doesn't really like to gank early. Like, I mean, at least not, like, from red. Like, he doesn't really aim to go top lane. He goes bot side instead. But maybe I should have pinged him to, like, come top right after. It is something I need to abuse a lot more. The good thing about W start as well into a matchup like this is if I get a leash like this, I can build a lot of Fury up. So right now, I already have 40 Fury. And if he decides to stand in the bush, I can, like, auto him twice, like, proc my PTA on the auto after that, then empower W, and that's going to nuke his health. So it's a really strong tool into Tryndamere, especially someone that hasn't even went bone plating. But as you can see, it's not really in our best interest to really fight him level 1 because his health is severely greater than ours. Like, look at the health difference. It's pretty huge. So, worst case scenario here, or like even best case a lot of the time, you can chunk him out pretty hard, then walk up, use potions. He has 1 potion used. And then it kind of just nets us an advantage for the level 2. And levels onwards. So level 1, Tryndamere will always go for a fight here. I also took bone plating to kind of nullify his damage for the early Orlings. Yeah, he tries to walk in, auto E, and spins away. So in this point, you want to just like buffer your W. So W, then right click. And just like that, we proc PTA as well, because I do get the auto W. Now, he wants to run us down. He has 70% crit. So any auto can crit here. And the way I want to play this is I want to keep my health and my fury up. Play off my empowered W. So I'm going to space away. If I walk in, I'll walk out. Just play on the edge. Like, level 1 is really hard to play against Tryndamere. You want to play it very safe. But now that I have, like, fury to work with, I can just, like, move out. I empower W. Probably could have auto-W'd there, to be honest, but I didn't really take the risk. And as you saw, 1 auto just chunked me as well. So now I just want to try and build fury back up. He gets level 2. I start pathing upwards. Like, level 1 is all about, like, good movement. My movement was pretty good this lane. Yeah, he gets an auto off. He tries to zone me now. I wiggle in and out. I W at the edge of my tower. Auto ignite, and he dies. But I want to show that again, just to show you like what I'm actually doing. So in the matchup, I'm clicking in and out, trying to like anticipate the E coming. So like I'm just right clicking in and out, not here, but here I am, in and out. I'm using my stop key as well, because I can kind of like bait a movement, which is more of a feint. And if you know like combat sports like boxing, MMA, like a feint sets up everything. Like you can bait things out. So me walking in and pressing S, like, just to bait, like I'm moving into him. I have the upper hand here, and then he tries to play it off of that. Like, he bites the feint, and then he goes in. And obviously here is where I kind of get him with that, to play on, like, my edge, the tower. And just like that, we get the kill. I want to go more in depth about this type of stuff, so I think once I have some videos done out the way, I'll definitely cover, like, micro in that aspect. Because it is a very underrated topic to use feints. Or at least, like, wiggling in and out. That's another term for it, wiggling. Because your character wiggles in and out, and that's what, like, kind of creates a mind game. And you can also, like, space away from the enemy. So now that we have the kill, I have an option to hard push or I can slow push. Being that I don't really have the time to just shove all this in and potentially put myself in an overextended position from the to the Shaco, who had like 3 million mastery points. So he had a game plan. He could potentially like be here, but obviously we just saw he's there. But I didn't know where he exactly started at the time. So the safest thing to do is slow push, build a giant wave. And worst comes to worst, I have a giant wave in the 1v2, which can turn me a kill. I have a lot of fury built up by just slowly pushing in the wave. And even that can potentially kill the Shaco as well. He tries to walk in, I just empower W, EQ. At this point, I don't want to get Tryndamere like anything. I want to deny him. The whole idea of this lane at this point, when I have a kill, is to deny Tryndamere from scaling. Because if he scales into a side lane monster, there's nothing I really can do if things go wrong and I, like, build a certain way. That's why I'm saying I have to build full AD. So I have to make sure my farm's pretty good. I'm, like, doing everything I can to put Tryndamere behind and I can snowball against him. So it's just very important to, like, make sure my gold income's, like, always going up and his is, like, minimized by me zoning him off the minions. So right now, I want him to walk up. I'm obviously wiggling in and out of the minions here. If he walks up, I walk into him, try and get an empowered W, or even tag a Q. Or off, like, mostly here, I'll just look for an empowered W, if I can get it. But wasn't really in my range here. Yeah, you see, I proc the Empowered W there. Now, I decide to walk into him. E out, Q as well. Here, because I slow pushed, this is going to take a lot of time for the next wave to push up, because Tryndamere has to focus hitting all the minions. By that time, it's basically a slow push too on his side. So that gives me time to recall. Always a good point to recall when you build the wave up like this. Although, it's not the biggest wave. Preferably on a cannon wave, it's a lot better to do. Which it is now. But, I mean, what I mean is, like, if you do push the wave in, you want a cannon minion here, because it takes less damage to the tower. And obviously, it's just longer to kill the wave entirely. So it gives you a good recall timer. But fortunately for me, either way, we're still back on a cannon wave that's incoming. So it gives us enough time to reset, get our Serrated Dirk, another longsword, and move back to lane. But yeah, he's trying to shove here. But by that time, like, my wave is met here, so I can freeze on him, force a fight. I come back to lane, Zack's on my side. Gives me another way to also obtain a gank, just because we pushed in the wave. Like, we did a slow push, which allows us to, like, get a recall. The wave pushes here, and everything's just going right here. Like, this is perfect, like, macro management of minion waves. Here I do a small trade. I probably could have killed him, but he had Ghost. I mean, I could have flashed for this. I definitely could have, but I didn't know where Shaco was. I didn't really want to gamble an auto attack as well, which you could crit. The minions are doing a lot of damage. Like, I would die. His crits would actually kill me. I feel like. If he did crit, of course, which is, again, very RNG. But as you see, we walked back to the lane, we did the trade, we got the Ghost out. Now, I lost a lot of health from that, so what can I do here? I basically came back to lane and I've already lost all my health. I can't just freeze this now, because surely I'm just gonna... Well, I have no way of, like, getting all my health back. So if I stay in this health pool, I'm practically dead to a Shaco gank, or Tryndamere comes back with item advantage, and he can just, like, force a kill on me when he hits level 6. Now, you might think, okay, you can't freeze then, so you have to recall, or you have to hard shove and then obviously gamble the fact that Shaco could be here and potentially kill you. Which you would be right about, but there is something you can actually do, and you can actually still freeze the wave here, which I'm about to show. So in this moment, the minions are slowly coming. I have 3 minions here. We can actually pull a freeze here, like I normally talk about with 3 minions. But instead, what I opt into doing is killing one of the minions with Q, and then I look to recall. At this time, Tryndamere is just coming out of base. So if you just, like, look at the world map, where the wave is, I create myself a slow push. There's more minions on that side, so it's still going to push towards my side. I get my recall. Tryndamere is walking in. I allow myself to get full health back, a refillable potion, control ward. So all this timing, like, helped out massively here. And I think a lot of people don't really utilize a recall like that. But that recall alone saved me the lane, because I could have lost the lane off of that if I overstay. Now, I can't really trim the wave down in time for Rakan to come, but because there's a lot of minions and Tryndamere is right in front of me, I have, like, a really easy way to build Fury, because if I E into him, I'm hitting all these minions to build Fury. I get 10 Fury off the Tryndamere, 2.5 off every minion hit. My Q gives Fury too. Like, here, like, I just get a lot of Fury. I go from, like, 10 to 63. With that alone. Next time, Power W, Ignite, Auto W. And like that, we get the kill. Really good roam time by Rakan. It all just panned out perfectly because I created that slow push towards my side. And Rakan saw that, and he came top lane and abused the fact that Tryndamere was in a bad position. Now, in this time, I'm level 6. I'm not really scared of Shaco. If Shaco does come, I am going to nuke him. So I will shove the wave in, knowing that I'm really not in danger. Tryndamere misses all this golden XP. Like, this game is practically a really good lesson for wave management. Like, all these things here, like, really won me the lane. And I think that's just how you beat Tryndamere in general. Like, if you can play off minion waves really well, and you respect the fact that he is you know, strong. Like, you do have to have respect for this champion. You can't really just do stupid trades, which you are going to see later on in the video. Or in the game, rather. Yeah, you have to, like, the way to beat Tryndamere is basically being very calculated. Like, taking reckless fights is just going to lose you the lane, straight up. So all my success really did come from just being calculated. So if I wasn't calculated here, I would probably just shove in the wave like a meathead, and then probably get ganked by Veigar, the Predator as well, and Shaco. So my best interest to avoid being ganked at all is just by letting the wave push here and playing in my tower. The enemies can dive me, and I might have to sacrifice a minion wave because of this, but I don't have to die, and dying's only going to give them like a bounty, so I want to avoid that. And I don't mind missing like a plating or some minions just so I can survive. And on the map, my teammates can abuse the enemies doing that type of play as well. But right now, I'm just trying to like poke out the Tryndamere in my Q. That's basically my best weapon. I want to make sure I'm not like killing the minion wave too, to a point where I'm like griefing. So I'm doing these like really calculated trades where I'm not one-shotting the minion wave and I'm playing my Fury right, using Power W. He is level 6 now. This is definitely a power spike angle. But Tryndamere can't really do a lot. I win the 1v1. I have a lot of AD. And his best way of doing anything now is just by getting his teammates to help. So if we will look bot lane this time, we just kill Ezreal. We are going for Dragon. We see Shaco step on a ward. I immediately see this. And I start just like pinging away. Well, not pinging away, but like I'm clicking away rather. Veigar's also trying to shove. So at this point as well, like I'm looking at the minimap. And I see like he's pushing, so I want to try and trim as much minions as I can. I see Veigar's walking up now. Classic dive opportunity here. Because my team can't really assist me and Ari's like pushed in. Veigar gets like a free roam, or he could do. So I'm just like playing back. I also go toward this in case like anything happens. Like Shaco could be here. Just check that. He was actually on our red buff at the time. Because I'm like worried about being dove, I'm just going to like one-shot the wave here. Which is another benefit to having all these AD items. Tryndamere shows back again. Just going to last at the minions. There's no need to shove in or anything. Just kind of take a deep breath, look around. Play a little bit slow. There's a fight bot side. We see Shaco there. I'm kind of free just to like push now or whatever I want to do. I think I want to back just so I get my Prowler's Claw. Yeah, I have Prowler's Claw here. I don't know why it keeps, like when I click, or like when I like press certain keys on my keyboard, it's like doing the wrong things. I think the replay is bugged, so you guys know. So Tryndamere was doing the Herald. I didn't really know at the time until he stepped on this, so me pushing the wave out like this just kind of abused the fact that he will miss like all these minions and a cannon as well. Like it's really important like trying to guess where your laner is too. Because at the time I thought Tryndamere just backed, so I got myself a free recall here by just shoving in and abusing the fact that he'll miss CS and gold. Or like, sorry, gold and XP. So all that combined is putting Tryndamere behind, which is our goal for this matchup. And because Tryndamere didn't get to back here, I come back with a Prowler's Claw. So I'm insanely huge right now. Knowing that Tryndamere still hasn't backed, I'm going to freeze a lane here. So I'll drag 3 minions in the middle. 3 caster creeps is all I need. Can get 4 as well, but 4 allows you to like drag here instead. If you have 3, it's actually going to push towards his side, so make sure you're always keeping 3 caster minions here if you're playing off. Not even 3 casters. You could do it with any like minion really. So even 1 minion. Any surplus of minions in the middle is just going to push towards your side, creating a freeze. But the most optimal way definitely is like at least 3, in my opinion. Or 2. Depends on your intention. Having more just means like my minions are going to die faster. So all this XP and gold Tryndamere is missing. Like, you will not be able to obtain it. That's kind of like the whole idea to having more minions. The less minions is better if you want to get a recall. And then come back for like the freeze to be here. Or like the minion wave. Not a lot of people talk about that aspect of minion waves. I do want to make a minion wave management guide too. Which, there's one thing saying I want to do it, but I need to do it. Just need to like make all these other videos I planned first. So right now, there's limited options what Tryndamere can actually do. My goal is just a perma-freeze. Tryndamere can't really walk up, he will get one shot. Like, I have everything that I need to do now. Like, all Tryndamere can do is roam the map. Or even take Herald. Which, to my surprise, he was actually doing. Really smart of him. I think he's like one of the only champions that can like reliably do this. Because of his damage and attack speed. So in this moment, he actually like benefits himself hugely. And it kind of calls my my bluff too. That's what you say. Because he takes this and I see him walking mid, I have to shove in here because he might look to Herald mid lane. Or he might go to the dragon fight. And because Shaco took dragon and my team's already pretty low, I have to push in here. Otherwise, I'm giving Tryndamere a way to get back in the game. And that's not what I want to do. So looking at the map is just very important here for me. So I'll just shove in. Try and bring Tryndamere back top lane. Take a plating from it. My team ends up going 1-for-1, but we do lose dragon. Now here's the biggest mistake in the entire game you're about to see. And this is also a lesson just to tell you guys like why mistakes matter. Why you can't just look over one death. Especially against a champion like Tryndamere. Before I show this, I want to show you the gold. It's 3k to 4,600 gold on my side. I'm insanely strong, right? I have Prowler's Claw, I have Ignite, Flash, Ult, I have everything up. How can I possibly die here? Being that Tryndamere has crit in his kit, a bunch of attack speed, a lot of natural AD as well from his Q, Tryndamere still does a lot of damage, and you have to respect that. Lethal Tempo is also very insane in the fact that he's getting even more attack speed, and his attack range becomes bigger too. So he's able to just run us down, or like if I E, he can still hit me. Because he walked up like this, I decide to go in. This was fine if I didn't auto before that, because I could W then instantly E out. But because I took this longer trade, and he has unflinching here, he actually just runs me down. And as we see, 200 crit. I don't flash for some reason. In my head, I'm just thinking like, I didn't need to. But that alone kind of just cost me the game. That one misplay. Because I didn't respect the fact that Tryndamere could perma-crit me there. Let's count the crits. 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 crits, but 3... He basically did 603 damage there from each crit. Like, all the crits combined. So, it's not a champion you can really gloss over, no matter how many deaths he has and how behind he is. So, he is 3,000 gold. 3,800 now we got. Just from that kill alone. But that's not where it ends. He has Herald. In a space of a minute, Tryndamere went from 3,000 gold to 5,000 gold. And I just maintained my like same goal, 4,600. That's how crazy one death can be. And why you always have to be careful of how you like take in fights. Like here, I didn't need to do this at all. Tryndamere wants me to E in. And if I do that, and I disengage out, Tryndamere will E onto me, ghost, and run me down. Like, that's how he wants to play. You always want to hold your E. Like, auto and power W, auto then, like, double dash out if you need to. Like, there was no reason for me to do that. And that mistake alone really cost me a lot. It cost me 2,000 gold. Which is insane, if you think about it. Moral of the story. Don't take the wrong trades against a Tryndamere. Or anyone that can hard abuse you like that. Even Jax is the same as well. I see there's a fight bot lane. Again, I have Prowler's Claw. I'm still pretty strong. And with the nerfs to Tryndamere, not having his ult up more often, we went from like 110 to 130 now. Which is huge. Because those extra 20 seconds allow me to like force a fight. And my ult's up before his as well. In a lot of cases. As we can see here too. So knowing he has no bone plating, and I still have Ignite and Prowler's Claw, I'm actually just going to go for the fight here. Just got to build some Fury up. I auto first. Actually, I don't go for it here. But I see Zax's coming up too, so we can force a dive. Still has a lot of seconds on ult. My ult is basically back up now. So Prowler's Claw, EQ auto attack, and just kill him like that. I did W as well, but basically, knowing that he has no Prowler's Claw or bone plating, I'm just going to go for the kill there. Also, that kill gets me a lot of gold too. Another reason why bone plating is very important into Renekton. If you don't have that and you're against Renekton, like, I can permadive you. There's nothing I need to worry about. And I don't need to waste so much time trying to proc it either. Next item, we are going Blair Ruin King, pretty standard. There is a fight breaking out bot side, Ahri's roaming. Right now, I just want to shove. I see Tryndamere's mid. I'm going to follow this so he doesn't get a tower in the time, or he doesn't roam bot side. So I come here. Our team is losing the fight. Ahri's in a really bad spot now. She does ping that she wants to go on Tryndamere. I oblige and follow up. But this is actually a very stupid call. Or, like, I didn't even need to do this. I kind of greeted for the Shaco. I do go 1-for-1, but it just wasn't really worth it. 3-for-1 overall. Dragon spawning in a minute. It was just pretty terrible. Being that dragon spawning and the enemies are kind of low from all that, I actually do want to just like run straight back down there. Tryndamere also wastes ult here. Because I'm seeing this at the time too, I'm just pinging like on my way. The enemies cannot stop us from getting the dragon here. You haven't got the numbers advantage like we do. So I'm just going to ping over here. Go get dragon with my team, and then I can go back to doing my normal things of killing minions and etc. I will warn you guys, you're about to see me like make misplay after misplay. Like if you thought a Masters player like me was perfect and I'm this and that, like I'm good, like I hate to tell you, but no, I'm still not good. There's a lot of things I need to improve on as a player. Hence why I'm, like, doing these VOD reviews. And wanting to also share with you, like, what I'm thinking, like, how I could get better. Like, you're gonna see, like, a bunch of misplays from here onwards. And I just want to say, it's natural, it happens. But, you know, we're not alone. Like, Masters players can make mistakes. Big ones, in fact, that are game losing. That a lot of people don't consider them losing. But they actually are. That could have been punished there too, that E. So next fight, there's another one mid lane. A very chaotic game against a team that really benefits from that. Like, Veigar likes chaos, so does Shaco. Galio likes it too. Like, they have a pretty good comp against ours for the most part. Like, our comp's more stable, but theirs is, like, good for, like, these random fights, which really took us off guard a lot of the time. I have to flash here in this moment, otherwise I will die to Tryndamere autos. I make a giant mistake here now. So, because I don't know if it's because Zac died or he just had Dark Harvest ready. Actually, I need to check this out. I need to see this with my own benefit. No, he had it the whole time. Oh no, it was on cooldown. So because my teammates died, in my head, I was going to go in and like one-shot. But because the Dark Harvest procced, I lost like 200 health instantly to boxes. And then I go in and just die. It was really stupid, but I wasn't thinking about Dark Harvest. I thought I had like enough health to survive, and I thought my empowered Q would heal me enough. But it was really idiotic. I just didn't really consider that. And that alone just kind of messed up everything. I think I could have got a triple maybe, if I had like a bit more health. But I just kind of fell over and died. By the way, notice like our CS. The CS gap is closing. It was like a 50 CS difference, and now it's like closing to 20. All because of my like misplays and the way I'm playing. But there was no reason for me to do that at all. I lost gold for no reason. Next, I'm just trying to shove in the other wave coming in. Tryndamere's mid. I also see, like, this is a really bad macro mistake Tryndamere made. Because he's here, that means, like, no one's going to be topside. And if it is Shaco, I can one-shot the Shaco. So with that in mind, I'll just take the tower. I do ping here that Tryndamere could roam. As we see, Tryndamere does roam. I ping my teammates to back off. Unfortunately, they don't really listen. Luckily, it doesn't, like, become the worst thing. I try and punish them fighting bot lane with a split push, but here, like, I had no wards. Like, it was really stupid. If I am gonna do this, I need to, like, at least have a ward here to see where people are coming. In that whole time, Veigar didn't show bot lane either, so the only place he could be after shoving the wave is top lane. Being that Shaco is here too. Unfortunately, I'm right, and I try and E out in time, but it's just... I just didn't have time, and I just died again. I'm just dying on repeat here. It is really, like, cringe. I was streaming at the time as well, and... I was just having a little bit of a meltdown, like... I was just saying, like, what the heck am I doing? I'm so bad and whatnot, like... I was doing, like, these, like, really, negative things that I do sometimes where I, like, talk bad about myself. It is something I'm trying to work on as a person. But having these, like, random thoughts that I'm, like, bad and stuff is just throwing me off my game. So while I am, like, low-key tilting here and, like, doing these, like, plays, I am trying to snap out of it at the same time. Like, I'm trying to just, like, focus on what's next. So if you're like me and you're making these, like, mistakes... You have to kind of just, like, remind yourself where you am. Like, you have to be aware of the moment. Like, you can't play or, like, do something, like, that requires thinking and, like, let all these, like, random thoughts that are deprecating, like, get you down. Like, you need to focus on what's next. Like, what can you do that is going to fix the situation? How can you be the best person that you can be or player? Like, you could apply this into, like, any, like, life situation. So for me... I am trying to focus on what's next. I have to accept the reality that if I am going to win this game, I need to die a lot. Although, I can do it in a way where I'm not making it so int. But, yeah. That's unfortunately not going to come right now, but later on in the game, we will try and, like, fix that. Dragon spawning, I run down. As a top laner, I think it's so important to run down here. My team is fighting. Really good fight moment. We have Rakan here. Veigar used Cage. I want to focus the Veigar here. He's the biggest threat. Take him down. Tryndamere's going to ult on me. Gets the kill on me. Oh, wait, he doesn't even ult here. It was a little bit before. Yeah, Tryndamere is getting so many crits on me this game that are just executing me. It's really tragic, actually. Such an annoying champion. Some more fights breaking out. It's actually a pretty decent fight, or at least it looks like it. I'm spawning too. I think I try and ping my team to stay around. Or maybe I don't, but overall, I think I'm saying on my way. I'm just sprinting there. Knowing that we can maybe win the fight. I force him to use Q here. With Zac not being here, and like everyone else just being low, I think I do end up just giving this up. I see Veigar here now. We kind of just lost our shot. There wasn't anything to do, so just ping him away. And we just go next with it. Like, just go into the next thing. I do overforce here, but yeah, I just didn't really think we would lose more health out of the fight. Tryndamere Herald. I need some assistance here, so I am going to ping. At this stage in the game, when Tryndamere does split pushes with like the Cyan build, you really do need help. Like, you need to 1v2 him. We see that he's here. It is actually a super winnable fight. Prowler's Claw first, auto Empower W for max DPS, auto Q. You notice that I saved my E, but I think unfortunately because Zach bounced Tryndamere into me, like he had like a closer range, like to just follow up on auto attacks. And being that I'm greedy, I don't E right away because I'm kind of like anticipating his E. Like if I E right now, he E's on top of me and I can't really get away from it. And because he has extra range from lethal tempo too, it's practically a doom situation. Like there's like a decent E. He E's too. For some reason, I click back into him while he has fully stacked lethal tempo, and then he just mollywops me and I'm dead. And Zach dies right after. Again, one misplay could really cost you everything. Like I die there because I walk back into him. So it looks doomed at this point. If you're playing against Tryndamere and you're dying like this in a 1v2, you're going to think it's doomed. They're also like going for Baron off this, as we see. Overall, it is a very doomed situation. But is it over? No, it's not over. It looks like my bot lane's behind. Ari's not really getting the best game either. She doesn't really got a lot to do. Zach's kind of like countered by a lot of variables. It looks very doomed. Now, because it looks like that doesn't always mean it is doomed. And this is where you're going to see a classic Baron throw. Baron throws happen in all elo ranges. And here's the first throw. They get Baron, they don't recall after, well, I presume like sit on gold. No, they don't really sit on gold, but because Shaco and Veigar have nothing to do here, they run top lane with Baron when everyone else recalled on the map. Or at least they're like elsewhere. I chase Shaco down here. Veigar's roaming up at this point, so knowing that I see this, I'm just trying to get out, walking this way. Go back into them, I ult just for Fury. Murder Veigar, then Shaco right after. And that was pretty good. We already take 2 Barons out, and we're getting potentially a third one on the Galio here. We kill this, right? He did as well as he could have, like, to survive, but like you think this is Masters Elo, and then you just have people throw Barons like this. It's actually insane. Like, this whole game is just eye-opening. At least for me, it's eye-opening just watching this. Like, the fact I can make all these misplays and all the enemies do something even worse to counteract that, like, it's just hilarious to me. So, off that Baron, they could have probably won the game, but again, a throw is a throw, and people can pick up on that. People will pick up on that. Only Tryndamere has Baron now, and he's basically their win con, just to side lane and have like Veigar catch someone out like elsewhere. Tryndamere's running mid. I just shove in the wave, giving that I have time to get this. You also notice I built stopwatch here, and the reason I built this, if I just back up, I have to recall seeing that Tryndamere's bot lane, so I was a little bit nervous that maybe he tries to all in me if I defend, so I'll just buy like a stopwatch to be safe. It's actually pretty nice to have, like if he tries to all in you, and you have that stopwatch to stall out the time when he ults and preserve your health. It's actually a good counter item. I think I sacrificed building my death stance too. I was actually really close to death stance, but I just bought the stopwatch to prevent dying to Tryndamere. Tryndamere's overcoming here. Do try and like get some help with Xayah. In this state as well, you want your teammates to be safe, so you want to ping them on the map to like be careful, make sure they're not overcommitting for things, because again, if they all die, and then we have to run mid to defend, like Tryndamere will take a whole side lane, or he will just dive me alone. So it's really important your teammates play according to the Tryndamere as well. Let the Baron expire. Tryndamere gets chunked. Zack's behind. Now I ult Prowler's Claw, auto W, auto Q, E out. Now this is where I play it a lot better. That E is much better here, as well as the Zack ult. Because I can stall. And just like that, we're out of there. No one gets punished for it either, mid lane. It was perfect. Once Tryndamere's dead too, you can just force the fight, which is what we do here. Rakan Shrelia, really good Rakan ult there. Flash EQ. I stopwatched because I didn't know if he had ult here. I wasn't really looking. I mean, I just didn't know if he had ult, so I just stopwatched in case he, like, Aerofrost ult and I get one shot. Like, his ult does up to 1,300 damage. So it's just, I don't know, it's just like a safety thing to do there. I wasn't sure. Better safe than sorry, as we know. So really great fight again. Enemies just throwing one after the other. I'm getting back in the game too. Hopefully my scoreboard doesn't bug. Can't tell if it has bugged. We do get dragon again. My back timer was a little bit late. I greeted for the wave. Well, that's a fix for the wave, fortunately. It's still a really good fight here. I'm coming in now. Ezreal dies. Walk into a box because really good. Get over the wall. Try and get the Galio, but it doesn't work. Trying to make ults now. I have to disengage from this, so it all goes pretty horribly wrong here, or at least it's looking like it. So I need to do this. Sorry. So I have full fury here. I can actually go for a hero play. They're all running into me. I don't know why Veigar was just not factoring the full ID Renekton and running into him. But I Prowler, auto W for max DPS first, auto Q, chase down the Galio. Use Red Trinket to detect the Shaco's movements. We see that he's up here. EQW, and we get a triple kill. So despite making a bunch of mistakes, I start like repenting my sins by playing a lot more calculated and safer, not doing too many stupid plays, and capitalizing on enemy misplayers. And you have to think about this too. If Masters players like this are making mistakes, they are gonna make even more mistakes in lower elo. And this is why I feel like, and a lot more recently too, I never surrender games. Like I never like, the only games I surrender are the ones that I just auto lose, where one of my teammates just wants to give up and troll. But those are the only games that I really probably try and look for a surrender, when my whole team's just like losing at 10 minutes or asking to FF. But if I know my comp is good and I'm playing well enough, I can carry these games alone. Like even this game, like as much as I'm like playing bad, I am also carrying just off of like the way I'm playing too. Like I'm creating winning situations and getting us back in the game. I mean, I also have to credit my teammates though. They all set it up pretty nicely too, like Rakan, Zack. It's all about team comps. Like we could have FF'd this game, and I think there was an FF vote at some point. I think Xayah threw it out there, being an ADC player. But even then, like, we're coming back into the game now, just because, like, we're trying, like, I believe in our comp, and so do my teammates. So I get the Death Stance in GA next. These items are exceptional against Tryndamere. He also built a Death Stance as well. The Death Stance just allows me to, like, kite out his burst damage. If I do kill him, I also heal a lot, or anyone else. GA is very nice as well. More armor, 230 armor. I also have a psychological advantage over the enemy, meaning that they either have to focus me and lose a team fight, or they don't focus me and I win the team fight. Like it's like a lose-lose situation for the enemies. They like use so much on me to kill me with this GA. I do try and ping help here. I can't defend this by myself. Like Tryndamere's a level ahead still. The best I can do is like stall out, try and build Fury. He takes my tower here. There's not a lot I can do. Power W. Good Zac ult there. I W just to keep him like grounded. Double E and we kill him like that. Like, this matchup is all about spacing your damage at this point. Like, you want, like, look how I space my damage. Like, we'll go in slow motion too. Like, I'm kiting backwards off every, like, attack. Just, like, create the distance so Tryndamere can't orb walk, run me down. Orb walking basically means, like, you attack move. So, attack, right click, attack. I don't know why it's called orb walking, but it's just is. Sadly, like that other game I played recently, I think it's the Irelia game. I E'd, and I didn't get my dash. So, Tryndamere, if he knew that, could have actually, like, killed me here, I think. Also, WRQ there. For burst damage. Tryndamere's taking a lot of damage from Death Stance. W him, just kiting away. And we pick up the kill. At this point, because Tryndamere is dead, we can force a fight mid, which is what we want to look for now. So I'll shove in the wave real quick. And I'll rush towards mid lane. Baron's also available as well. Actually, I get the recall here. Never mind. I lied. Pretty great fight here going on. So, to the enemy's vision, they don't see anything over here. So, I want to use Red Trinket. Come over the wall. Surprise the Shaco. You can't react to it in time. We killed the Galio next. Nah, he gets away in a sliver of health. Being that they're low, though, and they used a lot of abilities in that fight, we're just going to go for the Baron here. He could not contest it. They're trying to, like, rush mid in this point, so me and Ari are just going to, like, walk over here. I'm going to queue the Raptors here to get 50 Fury. Fury is always important in these fights, especially later on in the game, so just coming through here now with my Fury stacked up. Dragon is spawning. Zac is going for the flank. Great interrupt here. Auto W. E cancel there. If you like, you can dash into walls to like cancel your E animation really fast too. That's what I tried for there. Max DPS was possible, so I could burn his ult. Flanking the choke point was a little bit scary here. It ends up going in our favor. Just murder everyone. Go for the dragon now. I don't have Red Trinket to spot wards. Shaco could try and steal. Just making sure that he doesn't come around. Just being on my toes. I found my E here. A little bit embarrassing, but the Xayah managed to like scare him off and we get the dragon. Denying soul point. Also, something I didn't talk about was the Aegis of Legion. There's a few options I could have bought last. I could have bought Sterox, although it is a little bit nerfed. Not the biggest fan, although at this point... probably would make a decent item choice, regardless. Because I get more value from the AD being fully stacked, because it scales into the game now. The shield's also bigger based on my ult being rank 3. I could have bought Force of Nature for Veigar, and Shaco, but being that Tryndamere is still a threat, and so is the Ezreal, who built Eclipse for some reason. I think Gargoyle is just a good mix between, like, against... playing against AD and magic damage, having the shield as well. Like, it's just a really great item at this point. It does cost a lot of gold, and it can be hard to obtain in this type of game, where resources are a lot more put down, because your teammates are taking it all and you're all grouping together. But if I can get that for the team fights, I can go in there, initiate, but take all the burst damage with the active, one-shot someone, hopefully, and then that can lead me into winning the game. Which we are going to see as well, as an example. I'm alone here. Need to be a little bit careful. Just making sure I stack Fury. I'm not going to go for this. There's no point. I get nothing off of it without my team. Always pushing top. Try and recall here. I think it's because I have the Gargoyle now. Is that why? Yeah, I get Gargoyle now. So, just look at the stats on this item. It's not the best item, but it's definitely like a really great situational item when you need it. 60 armor, 60 magic resist, 15 ability haste, a shield. I don't know why the shield value is so low here. For Renekton, like it's not showing it. But it's like, if I remember, it's like 780 like shield, I think, with my ult. Also, I get a lot of armor magic resist for every time like someone hits me as well. Against Tryndamere too, it's a really good tool to like stall out damage. Team does unfortunately take a hit there. Ari ends up dying. Trying to move to the fight, thinking that Tryndamere is going to come. On my way, I have my Fury built up. Rakan's going in. My job in this fight is to try and peel for the Xayah. I see Tryndamere's there. Just going to whittle him down. I near him. Now I'm walking in. Flash. I'll call the Veigar. Kill him. Tryndamere. And then we kill the Galio too. So pretty much, this should be the game-winning play. However, my team has other ideas. Only Shaco is alive here. Shaco doesn't do anything. This champion is absolutely useless. Being that we have a Lethality Xayah, a full ID Renekton, we can shred these towers. But my teammates are scared of the Shaco for some reason. And I don't know why, because look at the damage. He doesn't do anything. This is where ego can really cost a game. We can still end here too, but my teammates are just running away. I don't really know why. I have everything up, like, at my Gargoyle, Bork, like, I still have enough Shred to kill the Ezreal, but my teammates end up not wanting to cooperate with me, so I have to leave this, and it sucks because we could have ended the game, and we could have even lost the game from not ending off that, but at this point, just gonna play it safe, listen to my team. If everyone's not in agreement, you have to listen to it, unfortunately. So we back off, get our reset, buy a potion in base. I think it was Red Pot. Yeah. I probably could have went Elixir of Iron, the health and tenacity potion. Just going to shove the wave here. Going to speed it up too. Win towards the end of the game. So at this point, someone has to defend mid lane, consume minions. We don't really have a minion wave here. Our macro's a bit off. Dragon spawning, basically playing off that bird dragon here. Doesn't really do a lot for us though. I'm coming down with red trinket, just trying to deny vision, see if I can catch anyone out. Veigar's here, puts cage down. My teammates are all here. All I'm looking for at this point is just a way to engage. So, I want to quiz you guys on something. Because this was an okay play, but it was like a little bit bad. And I'll show you what I mean. Tryndamere is not here. We have everything up. Dragon spawning. The enemies are defending. Like, there's so much stuff they have to do here. This is probably like a perfect point to go in. But the problem was, I wanted to go in, but I didn't really tell my team what to do. It was too late, I think. So I'm walking in for some reason. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like, I didn't ping it at all. Like, I wanted to fight, of course, while Tryndamere's top lane, but I don't communicate. And when you don't communicate, people don't know what you're doing. So I end up just, like, dying. Yeah. But I guess because everyone focused me, they had nothing left. Like, 3 ults were used here. And like a bunch of spells too. And off that alone, we end up winning the game, but it was very troll. It was a very troll move. If I do say so myself. But I feel like if we didn't do anything, like Tryndamere would just keep pushing and like take our base. So it was a coin flip, but it was in our favor because it wasted everything for me. I used Gargoyle too, as I was talking about at the start. Just to stall out damage and let them waste more things on me. And that gives us the W in the end. Was it worth doing this? I mean, there could have been another opportunity, but being that Tryndamere could have pushed down like a whole base and caused me to back and maybe we lose a dragon fight, we could have lost the game too. So a little bit one of those situations where I take a death for my team and we win the game. But yeah. That is the Tryndamere matchup. A very interesting game. A lot of emotional moments. A lot of pain. Suffering. Like, happiness. Like, there's a lot of moments in this game. It was also my last game of the day when I played on my stream. So, I never play my best after, like, so many games I play. But yeah, that is basically the game. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you learned something and you like the content, Make sure to leave a like. If you disliked, then dislike the video. Maybe tell me why as well. Was there something that you didn't like? If you want to see more of my content, make sure to sub. And I will see you guys next time. And about my itemization video, I'm in the process of working on it, but I'm getting a little bit carried away. So I'm just going to say, could come out next week based on some events. So if you're looking out for that, just make sure to, keep watching the next 2 weeks. And by then, hopefully I get it out. But yeah, with that all being said, thank you for watching and have a good day. Goodbye.